just want to make a video about Andrew Tate. And yeah, I made a video yesterday where I was just kind of watching the Panorama TV show, and there was lots of comments that he made that were incredibly sexist. And there was some accusations about him, which I 100% thought was true. But it was interesting because I make loads of videos and I never get anyone responding. But I've got loads of comments on that video, telling, and a couple of them are supportive of him. Oh, you don't know the truth. Oh, this is. I don't understand why people would be supportive of him, because I feel like, can't they see what I see? Like, he fills me with so much rage. Just looking at him makes me feel just filled with rage. I feel like I'm filled with rage. But I think the people that would support him are people who also must share a similarity with him, and also must be filled with rage. And these are the sort of people that would want to support him, because I think he loves an argument, and I think people who follow him and would look up to him also love an argument, and therefore they would support him and back him up because they love an argument. You know, if there's some people insulting this guy and they are the type of people that love an argument, then I think they would be very inclined to want to chase up all the people that insult him just to start an argument with him. You know, I don't think the people that follow him are as bad as him, but I see Andrew Tate as some angry bear or gorilla or just a dragon, like a really terrible person. And the people that follow him are people that might feel helped by him, because they can. He teaches people to be strong, and that's the good thing about being a dragon or just a strong gorilla or a bear. It teaches you to be strong. But I think really it teaches you to be angry and aggressive, and I don't think it actually helps anyone. And I think I don't know what he's teaching, as I haven't watched it, but I've come across this video and it's just filled me with so much anger. I've only watched about a minute of it so far, but I want to explain why. There was one of the videos saying, you know, because I said on the first video that I was watching about Panorama that I don't even need to watch the Panorama film to know that the accusations are true. And someone was like, oh, so you're not even, like, indicating that I was not going to watch it. I was going to watch it, and I did watch it, and I made a second video about it, but clearly that person didn't see the second video. But anyway, I just want to talk about him, really, because he's inspired me to want to talk about him.
Donald Trump is the last hope of Western civilization. He can't stop the decay, but he can slow it down. If he doesn't win, it's over.
So I think he's saying Donald Trump's the last hope. So that means he's in support of Donald Trump, and he thinks that that Western civilization has no hope without Donald Trump. So he's someone who favours Donald Trump. Donald Trump comes off as someone who's strong, and that's the reason why his people like him. So he definitely would be a Trump supporter.
If Trump doesn't win, it is done. It is over, game over, because the circumstances around him not winning are at a being insane. And the degree of...
You know, I think he's really saying that because he doesn't like the idea of a woman president. I've got a feeling that that's the main reason why he's so in favour of Trump, because he hates the idea of a woman making decisions and being in control.
Because this is the stuff that's going to get me assassinated. So
This is the stuff that's going to get me assassinated. You saying that... I know what you're saying. You're saying that you think... You're sexist and you don't want a woman to be in president, but you're not going to be assassinated for things like that. But you want to say things like that because you want to make out that you are on the right side, and the people that are going to assassinate you, they're the criminals, they're the bad ones, they're the ones that are going to attack you for saying what you are wanting to say. You know, I think you're a sexist pig, and I would want to assassinate you for being a sexist pig. But yes, I'm just a woman. What do I know?
There's no way Donald Trump can't win unless something happens. And if something happens, we're going to see not only a breakdown in faith of the systems, but you're also going to see a whole huge degree of cope from the people who you'd think would be up in arms about it. And over the weeks and months post his loss, they're just going to talk big and do nothing, and it's going to be a bunch of coat, and they're going to end up adhering to the matrix and the money, and when they get the phone calls, they're going to get scared, and it's all going to fall apart. And I think that Western civilization...
He's just saying whatever he can. He's saying something to make his opinion seem like it's got nothing to do with Kamala Harris's sex. But yes, I'm not falling for it.
As a whole will genuinely collapse if Donald Trump... I think it's going to be within a few months of his loss, it's over. Because there's no way he'll fairly lose an election. There is no way.
Is there an ideology society holds that you think is the most damaging?
Well, they all work together in a perfect concoction. So it's difficult to choose which one is the most damaging, because all of the ideologies which are being pushed by the Matrix are designed to destroy something. So you can have different diseases. Imagine society as a human body. One disease is aimed at destroying the hands, another one's aimed at destroying the legs. They're all equally important, and they work together in succinctity, is that a word? I don't know. If it is, good, and if it's not, add it, please. Top G said so. They work together to ensure that the body is destroyed. If I see an ideology being pushed in the mainstream, I know that it's destructive, because everything is a lie. So then you have to sit down and work out how it is destructive. And truthfully, it's not that difficult to decipher. Feminism is...
What he's really thinking is that women are like a disease in society, and they need to be put down because men need to control them, because women are going to be a disease in the matrix. That is actually what he is thinking, and that is actually what he's wanting to say, but he knows that he can't say it because 50% of the world's population are women, and he knows that 50% of the world's population are going to vilely hate him for saying these things. Hence, he has to be very careful about what he says, but he tries to make himself seem very intelligent, where he tries to say lots of things without actually using the word women. But I know what he's thinking. I know what he's thinking because I feel it.
It's also designed to do the same thing.
Feminism is also designed to do the same thing. So now he's kind of bringing in the touch that he's actually talking about females.
Man wants a wife.
A man wants a wife! That's what you should want, but I don't think you want a wife. I think you want a slave. I think you want a servant.
He doesn't want a husband. And feminism...
He doesn't want a husband. He doesn't want a man who's going to control him. No, he wants something that he can control. I just feel that energy in him. I really strongly feel it. And it's disgusting. This guy is vile. I know what he's thinking, even though he's not saying it.
It makes women into men, effectively.
Feminism makes women into men. He thinks men must control, lean, dominant, and he thinks feminism is where women start leading, controlling, and he thinks that is a disease in society. He thinks that this is what kills the hands, the body, the mind, and men need to be... He's a sexist pig on extreme levels, and I vilely hate this guy.
It's probably the most misogynistic movement on earth, because what it does is it makes women into competitors with men.
And women can't be competitors! Women can't be competitors! Why would a woman want to compete against something else? Like, seriously, I don't know what is wrong with this guy, but he brings out so much anger in me. If you want to see me fucking angry, all you need to do is get me to have a conversation with pigheads like this.
Realms where they can't compete with men.
Because you don't want women to go into realms where they can't compete with men, because men are better! Men are better than women! God, I really feel like I'm turning into a dragon just listening to this, and I need you to show this, because I'm channeling his anger. I don't know where he's getting his anger from, but it's extreme. And if you think that I'm wrong about this, then why is he the only one that does this to me? Okay, that caller that pissed me off about that big brother that did this to me as well. But she's just bringing out so much vile and anger, and it's just...
So it puts women in a position where they're just gonna lose. It tells women,
it's gonna say...
You go do it.
What? I can't believe he's saying this.
Designed to do the same thing. A man wants a wife.
Let's see.
If I see an ideology being pushed in the mainstream, I know that it's destructive. because everything is a lie. So then you have to sit down and work out how it is destructive. And
So-
truthfully, it's
talking
not
about
that difficult.
female
to decide.
power. That's what he's talking
Feminism
about.
is also designed to do the same thing. A man wants a wife. He doesn't want a husband. And feminism makes women into men.
Actually, don't you think that it should be about women also getting what they want and not just about men getting what they want?
Feminism is probably the most misogynistic movement on earth, because what it does is it makes women into competitors with men.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with a woman being a competitor to a man?
Realms where they can't compete with men.
They can't compete with men. Why? Do you think I can't compete with you?
So it puts women in a position where they're just gonna lose.
I'm gonna lose, so if I competed with you, would I lose?
Those women, you can do anything a man can do, you go do it, and then they just get annihilated. And then
And they just get annihilated. Why? Because I can't do what men do. I can't nail something into a wall. I don't want to, but I can't do that. Why? Because I'm not. Why? Because I don't have a penis? Oh God, he really is bringing out so much anger in me. I can't.
have diversity hires so they don't get so obviously annihilated. Why would you take a woman and put her into a realm where she can't compete? Unless you want.
Because you just think she can't compete. Because you think she can't do things. Because you just judge someone based on something you know nothing about. Because you obviously just want to believe that they can't compete.
Where they're just gonna lose. It tells women, you can do anything a man can do, you go do it, and then they just get annihilated. And then we have to have diversity.
So if a woman wants to wear trousers like men, well, they're just going to get annihilated because this is obviously the truth. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Why were you born as a man? It doesn't make sense why you were born as a man. I would say you would be born as a woman next life, but I don't think so. I think you need to go back to being an animal.
Hires so they don't get so obviously annihilated. Why?
Obviously annihilated.
Into a realm where she can't compete unless you want to see her humiliated.
Yeah, you do want to see me humiliated, and you're just trying to make out that, oh, women shouldn't compete, not because I think they're stupid and this is just my view. No, that women shouldn't compete because they're going to get annihilated, and I don't want them to be embarrassed over something that they can't do, because we all know that women are stupid and they can't do anything, so we don't want to embarrass them by making them think that they can do something. This guy is an extreme hater of women, and I'm just feeling so much anger towards him. I really, really am.
Feminism is an awfully misogynistic ideology, and is once again designed at attacking and destroying the family unit. So you can name any of these ideologies, and I'll tell you why they're pushing it. They're pushing it to destroy the baseline society that's required for humans to build a life in which they're prepared to protect.
So basically, anything that has a penis must be the rulers, and anything that doesn't have a penis are the fools that just need to obey the men. That's what he's saying. I really, really, really hate him. I really hate this guy.
If you destroy a man's family, and you destroy his ability to raise his own kid,
I will look forward to doing that with you, yes. If you have kids, I really hope you don't, to be honest, but anyway.
and his wife to respect him, and you destroy his ability to go anywhere, well then what is he? He's a slave.
Well, I will look forward to turning you into a slave, because I will look forward to telling the world that you are a good example of one of the biggest sexist pigs that I've ever met or ever seen or ever spoken, and I will hope that no woman ever dares touch you, and you're going to be forced to be gay because that's the only way you're going to get any kind of affection.
That's what they want. So all of these ideologies have different goals, but they're all a Trojan horse, and that's why every single time they try and push anything, I'm instantly and utterly against it. It's kind of amazing where you don't have to be smart anymore. You just have to instantly disagree with the news. That's it. Now you're a genius. When they come and say, we need more of this, I guarantee you, if you bet on the other side, you'll be right more often than wrong. 9 times out of 10. It's become that simple because they lie so obviously.
He lies so obviously, but I don't really know what he's saying. He's just trying to make himself seem intelligent. I don't know how anyone could listen to this and enjoy listening to it, listening to him talk. And whoever his followers are, I would 100% want to attack them. If you want to insult me on this video and tell me that I'm crazy, good. I'm God, and I'm going to... And I don't care what you think, because my self lives inside you, and if you want any kind of inspiration or truth or guidance, you will know that what I'm saying is the truth.
And when I say these things, once again, people say, oh, you're homophobic. I'm not homophobic, but I have children, and it is my job to raise.
I'm not homophobic. I just have children. So is that the reason why you're saying that women can't change to the opposite sex, or men can't change the opposite? I just have children. I do things this way. I believe in this. So everyone else needs to agree with me too, because this is how society works. Society works by everyone listening to me and agreeing with me and just looking up to me and treating women like they're stupid, because women can't compete with men because they're just going to lose and be humiliated. So everyone needs to agree with me, because this is how society works. And this is how society worked in the past, and this is why there were so many wars in the past. And the reason why there were so many wars in the past is because God is a woman, and she liked seeing lots of sexist pigs killing each other, because you're all sexist pigs. Or at least you were back then.
Is my children. They are not the government's children, and they're not gay people's kids, because gay people can't have kids. So the only reason they can have an LGBT agenda into the future.
Gay people can have kids, because there's lots of kids that need parents who have, their real parents can't look after them, and sometimes adoption is a good thing, and they can have kids. So what you're saying is not the truth.
Future is by turning other people's kids gay. Well, they're mine. And I had them so I could raise them with my worldview. And if I'm responsible for paying for them, and I'm responsible for keeping them safe, and I'm responsible for all of the work that goes around them, I'm responsible for making sure their mother is happy, and all the other jobs required for my children to live a happy life, you don't get to decide how they think. I get to say.
So you're going to control your children. Well, you know what? You're my child, so I want to control you. Should I treat you in the same way that you would treat your kids? I am God, I am your maker, I am the one who's given you life, who's given you a body. I have no idea why you're a male, because you should not be a male. You should be a female, and you should be forced to be treated like crap, so that you would know how awful it is to be treated like crap. But you know what? You have been given a male body, maybe because you're designed to piss me off, and I also would love to see who your followers are, because I do not support them either. I think any follower of yours obviously has some screws loose, because they obviously can't see how disgusting you actually are. I saw that video about you strangling women. I don't know why anyone would want to have sex with you. I don't know why anyone would want to date you, because you just seem like such a terrible, terrible person.
I want them to be replicas of me and my worldview. You don't get to come along and say.
Well, I'm your kid. I'm your mother. I'm your maker. You're my kid, and I want you to be in my replication. And you're obviously not. And you're just. You're an inversion. You're on the inverted side, and think about it. Do you really want me to treat you in the same way that you are treating your kids, by saying, I have this view, my view is different to your view, and I'm going to force you to believe in me, and I have many views, and I want you to believe in my views, but then again, my views is massive. The only thing that I really support, or I know reincarnation is the truth, and you are going to be forced one day to believe, but if you don't want to, then that's fine, because my higher self can use you to see who your followers are. My higher self is using you to see who your followers are, and this is the reason why I don't know if I even want to talk to you, because I think not talking to you might encourage. Well, my higher self is using you to see who your followers are, because I think you've obviously got a ton of terrible people who agree with you, and this is part of the good and bad and good.
And say they have to believe that women have penises, and if I say that, I am labeled as homophobic. You know what's interesting? When I first got canceled, we spoke after my first cancellation, which was in August, my first life. I was attacked by the LGBT agenda. They're the first people who attacked me. I woke up one day, and there was about 120 different Instagram pages that put up a picture of me and a clip of me saying something like this, which was homophobic, with the same text about how I should be removed from social media. 120 pages overnight, in perfect synchronicity, worked together to get rid of me. Isn't that scary? That the 120 different LGBT influencers at once, they must have got the call in the group chat. Grindr put out a notification, bing, 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 don't know. And they all attacked me at once. And then the feminists, same thing, boom, all at once. So all these agendas, that's just proof that they're sponsored by governments anyway.
Or maybe God has something to do with this, and God is setting you up, and God is just testing the public to see whose side they want to be on. Do they want to be on the side of the sexist pig, or do they want to be on the side of the people that support gay rights, and the people that support the idea that that females can compete and they can be better, and they don't have to just be subservient slaves of the men who think that only women should be this, and who want to also control and dominate their kids and and force their kids. They pay for their kids, they do this, they do this. You know what? You didn't make those kids. You didn't make the world. You didn't make the society. You didn't do anything other than just boss people around and
They're all funded by liberal NGOs. That's how governments work, right? Governments have agendas they want to push, but they don't push them themselves. Instead, they fund a think tank, and that think tank is thinking about how to turn kids gay, and then that think tank attacks me. So that's how it all works anyway. So,
or maybe you're attacking them for saying that this isn't the truth. You know, reincarnation is the truth. There's a high chance that you're going to be a female, and there's a high chance that you're going to be a male. So you need to accept the fact that you can be both a male and a female. Okay, I don't really agree with sex change, and okay, I do actually want Trump to win, but not for the right reasons. But yeah, I just...
Genders are genuinely destructive to society, but it's hard to choose which one is most destructive. They're all working together on purpose. Even mass immigration.
All working together to go against people like you. But of course, you wouldn't see it that way. Well, actually, you do see it that way. You think they're attacking you. Well, you just don't think there's a good reason as to why they would want to attack you.
I'm a mixed race Muslim revert living in Romania. I'm not Romanian. I guess I don't fit in any box at all. But when people are pushing for mass immigration, it's not because they care about humans, and it's not because they care about people like me, who are the rich billionaires who come to the country and do good for it. No, they're pushing it because they want to destroy the identity of a nation, because without the identity, you're less likely to protect it. We can also expand this into even the way we build buildings anymore. Why did we build such beautiful cathedrals, and now every single building we build is shit? Well, it's done on purpose.
We were talking about that yesterday.
It's done on purpose. Because if you build beautiful buildings and a beautiful cathedral in a particular city, the people of that city love that city and will defend that city. If all the buildings look the same, whether you're in Houston or Hamburg, it's the same tower blocks, well, then you don't care. You'll just go, oh, I'll just move. I'll let them get away with what they want to get away with. I guess I can always run away. The rich people run away. The poor people are stuck there because they can't run away. And they continue with their slavery. All of this is on purpose. None of this is an accident. And they all tie in together to be a sickness for society. And society is now currently very sick. And if you were to ask me, well, what's worse, the AIDS or the cancer or the gangrene? It's very difficult for me to sit here and choose one. I'm saying to you, we're in a mess. And we need a solution to all of them. And the solution to all of them is the same thing I said it was earlier, which is God. Because why did...
That's me. And yeah, I need to say that people like this think that they are God's gift to the world. They have all the answers. And then they say things like, what, you build all these buildings and then they look like shit. They don't all look like shit. There's plenty of buildings that look nice, and people aren't all just working together to make an area look shit to enslave people. There's good and bad in everything, and sometimes slavery can be good because it forces you to work. Sometimes, filmmakers, a lot of them are rich and stuff, but for years they were making good films, and I liked it, and the fact that the population was so high meant that they, kept making nice films. And I think recently the films have turned really bad because they've realised that actually the majority of the population are idiots, and you can give them a really good film or give them a really shit film, and they probably won't be able to tell the difference. If there's a film that's really good, put a huge amount of time and effort into it, and then you give a film that's just full of, just doesn't make any sense and has no storyline or plot, idiots will not be able to tell the difference between a good film and a bad film. Hence, there's no point of putting lots of time and effort into it. But by convincing people that there's lots of people that are all good, they make really good films, which you could explain why the films are all shit now, because they're starting to realise that actually society is very, very wrong, because it's full with idiots that can't tell the difference between a good person and a bad person, can't tell the difference between a good film and a bad film, can't tell the difference between a nice building and a shit building. And then there's people that just like to promote negativity whilst telling people that they're actually promoting the truth. And yeah, I think the only thing that many people can agree on is that only God can save things. But the majority of people who say that only God can save things are actually people who don't believe in God, who don't actually know who God is, have no clue that God is a woman, and they're just using God as a way of saying that, I'm supporting God. God is talking to me because I'm supporting God, and therefore you should listen to me. So he's promoting God not because he's promoting God or because he believes in God, but just because he wants to try and make out that he is a good one because he believes in God. Because he believes in God and he's trusting in God, everyone should listen to him and the shit that he says, even though I am God and this guy fills me with so much anger that it's just unbelievable. I'm going to stop the video now.